MetalThrashingBuddy Show, episode 33. Gonna be a shorter solo episode. Like I'd mentioned before, crazy busy. Lots of big career stuff happening. Lots of big, just adult, grown-ass man things going on. But anyway, let's cut to the chase on this because this is something that I haven't talked about and wanted to talk about. I especially wanted to bring it up to my YouTube viewers and get their point of view and talk about this. And of course, as always, you can comment in the Q&A section on the Spotify for those of you streaming in your car or at work or just listening to it. YouTube people, hit the comments. Let me know. Let's talk about it. I love talking to you guys. But anyway, title of this episode, why you clicked on it, is the Pantera, quote, reunion a good thing? And when I say good thing, I mean like, is it good for the fans who love Pantera and legitimately want the best representation of it? Is it good for the legacy of the Abbott brothers, Dimebag and Vinnie Paul? And is it like doing something constructive for music too? And it's not just, like a shot at a money grab or anything like this or like that. Sorry. And yeah, my thoughts on it in short are hell yeah, it's a good thing. I don't know really how else to dress it up, but like hell yeah, it's a good thing. And for those of you who might have been under some sort of heavy metal rock for the past few months or 6 months or even year, when news started circulating, and I mean, the rumors of Zakk Wylde taking over for Dimebag since his passing have always been kind of the trend, was that like, oh, the obvious choice is Zakk, right? And I think we're seeing now that like, duh, but as far as just style and guitar nerd friends out there, I'm sure you'll agree with me. But anyway, not only just style and skill, but, being a longtime friend of Dimebag's, I love it. And, there was always this interesting issue with the reunion. Quote, I need to be careful with that because what we should be calling it is a celebration, and that's why I think it's a good thing. But, yeah, they have Charlie Benante from Anthrax doing the drums, which is awesome since Vinnie Paul's passing. And I think what people had kind of thought was that with interviews and such that of Vinnie Paul saying he would never do it without Dime, which makes total sense. And I think the initial thoughts surrounding it were kind of like cash grab, right? And like, it's hard to argue that at the same time because this is making tons of cash. I mean, they're only playing to like mega festival crowds. They're going on the road with Metallica. But let's look at this from my perspective. And more old school Pantera fans might have a different opinion on it. And that is A-okay. I want to say right now to the diehard Pantera folks, like, I'm with you too. I see both sides of the coin. But this is why I think it's a good thing. And albeit kind of selfish or kind of, I guess, representing more one side of the coin, is that, let's look at it this way. I'm 29. Around like Pantera's last days as a band, I was around like 8 to 10, maybe younger. And I didn't really have a shot to see him. My parents weren't super into him. My dad is a huge classic rock guy, more so. His like metal ventures into more of the late 80s never really reached into Pantera yet. My dad got me into Pantera when I was around like middle school age, around 2007, 2008, when I was getting really into guitar too. And my dad was, somewhat of a a fair weather fan, like appreciated what they did for metal in the early 90s. And especially when things were getting kind of wimpy there and grunge was taking over. But yeah, looking at it from my perspective is just that I never got a shot. And with this being, let's get rid of the word, quote, reunion, a celebration of Pantera's music with the two surviving members, Phil Anselmo and Rex Brown, this is a chance for Pantera to be celebrated live in its best form, I think, and not, in a cover band or tribute band, which shout out to those bands out there that really rip, because there are some fantastic ones. But you're getting Phil Anselmo, you're getting Rex Brown, you're getting world-class Zakk Wylde, world-class Charlie Benante, and this is just huge for me. It's made me, as a Pantera fan, although like post their initial career, it makes me feel good to get onto TikTok, get onto socials, see like clips of Zakk like running out in front of the crowd before the show starts, or goofing around with their crew, and Phil goofing around with the crew, and it's like, it seems like the most positive atmosphere that this could be. And I think that especially with Charlie, we were all kind of expecting Zakk to fill for Dime, but I had kind of thought like, man, if there's a guy that had a great relationship with Pantera and can nail the parts like the way they're meant to be, it's Charlie. And dude, like I said, these clips circulating the internet from these tours, or I guess, somewhat tour festival appearances right now, and what will be the upcoming Metallica tour, or maybe they're on that tour already. I don't know, man. I can't even keep track of my own schedule. But it's been so damn heartwarming to me. And it's been like this beautiful excitement, like the first time I heard Pantera when I was in like middle school, that like, man, it's bringing back all of these memories. Like, I'm hearing Pantera again for the first time, I guess. And I'm so fucking excited about it. I think it is so good. I might get Metallica tickets just to see this Pantera lineup. And rest in peace to the Abbott brothers, Vinnie and Dime. I was fortunate enough to see Vinnie Paul and Hell Yeah. And when you see someone like that in person, it kind of shows you the class above other musicians they are, and why they're regarded as like legends. Because I've never seen someone behind a drum kit like demand so much attention and energy from you as someone in the crowd. And it was fucking incredible. The guy made it look flawless. I felt the same way seeing Ace Frehley solo, like up close and personal at a smaller venue. It was fucking incredible. Watching a legend do it in person is a lot different than, I don't want to knock any bands, but just seeing your average, like, successful musician who does a damn great job but isn't in that like upper echelon of legendary status musician. And it's a damn shame to me that we don't get a full Pantera reunion or new era of Pantera that I think that us fans always wanted. But I think that this is an absolute beautiful thing, and it's a great thing. Like I said, it kind of all encompasses being great for them. I know that Zakk and Charlie are super stoked about celebrating the music of like people they loved. If this were to just be a cash grab, don't you think that it would be a little like sloppier than this? I mean, there was care, and there was attention and thought put into this, that if they were going to do it, it wasn't going to be some silly, let's throw anyone in there. You know, Phil was touring with his solo band, Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, and they were doing Pantera sets. I know Rex Brown was involved in the same thing. And this just feels so much better and like right, if that makes sense. It's been such a cool thing. Again, I can't express it enough, to like open my TikTok and have it be like these dudes ripping Pantera songs. And like I said, even with only two of the original members, it's so right. And what I think is the funniest thing to me is the like concerns people had about Zakk Wylde nailing like Dime's parts. Like, and there was the big concern that it was like a month away, and it's like Zakk Wylde says that he hasn't learned any of Dime's parts and he hasn't practiced the set list. And I'd finally read a comment on the internet that was like, it's fucking Zakk Wylde. And that's what I've been saying this entire time. Not only is he selfishly one of my favorite guitarists of all time, but he's one of the better guitarists of all time. While it may be in his very own unique style, it's nothing like that you can't wrap your head around. It's doing like blues pentatonics and very soulful guitar playing in its finest form. Again, another legendary guy. I think people thought that Charlie Benante was kind of like the wild card of, you know, like maybe it was thrown in because he knew the brothers and stuff like that, but that dude's an absolute beast too. You watch any footage of him performing with Anthrax live, and it's fucking mind-blowing the way he executes those tracks. And again, something that made the Abbott brothers so special was the ability to play with such soul and such power without necessarily it always being the most technical. Like, it's not going to be, you know, the drums aren't going to be Dana Carey from Tool, and the guitar might not be like this crazy neo shred style of thing, but it was with, I say that lightly because I'm fucking shredded, but they had their groove, and that's what gave them that like groove metal like name. That like there was something special about it, something soulful about it, something real about it. It wasn't bullshit. And I don't think you're getting bullshit from this celebration of their music with Zakk and Charlie either. I cannot wait to see this live and in person because of just how powerful it sounds and how incredible everyone sounds. I think that Phil is in like surprisingly good shape. His voice and vocals sound awesome. Zakk is fucking tearing it up because, like I was saying earlier, it's Zakk fucking Wylde, man. There's nothing the guy hasn't like achieved that he's wanted to achieve. I mean, like, he's a world-class guitar player. He's in that level of Dime and Vinnie as far as like going to go down a legend when his time's up. But he's playing these songs fucking perfectly. I mean, there's even debate before, people going like, oh, it's just not the same. And like, while I do agree with you, it's not going to be exactly the same. This is the best we're going to get. 100%, man. Like, you really want someone else out there doing this? You really want someone other than Charlie or Zakk doing it? I don't. I love those dudes. I love Black Label. I love all the Aussie stuff. I love Anthrax. And like, for the sake of it being the Metal Thrashing Buddy Show, I fucking love metal things. And this is one of the best metal things to happen in the past year. And like I said, I never brought it up on the show yet. I never brought it up on YouTube yet for you guys. But this is a huge deal, and it's huge for all of these people like me who maybe came in just a little too late. You know, past Dime's time. at the very, like, more so, like, tail end of Vinnie Paul's life. We didn't get to see these legends. And now we're getting to see this huge celebration of Pantera's music the way that I think the brothers would want it performed, and by who they would want it performed by. And it's fucking beautiful. And I don't think in any way it's a like any throwing shade towards the Abbott family or anything. Like I said, I think this is 150% a beautiful celebration and interpretation of it. Something else that I think is cool is that I think that just in general, I mean, we can agree to disagree, but Dime and Vinnie are, you know, so highly regarded as these legendary musicians, but I still don't think that they get the credit they deserve for pioneering certain things. And there are, like, incredible whammy and, like, pitch parts in modern metal now that were really, like, being thrown into things in the early 90s by Pantera, and their drum pieces, like, absolutely obsessed with the song Becoming because of Vinnie Paul's double bass work on it. And he was kind of pioneering things, and we can argue about that. We can agree to disagree. It's fine. This is just some schmo on YouTube's opinion on it, but it's exciting, man. It's exciting for this to come back around and for it to be available live in such a great way, in such a great celebration. And I think most importantly, at a time where I've talked about metal progressively becoming less metal, it's kind of funny. It's kind of like Pantera is doing what Pantera did in the first place, where Metallica's Black Album was this huge commercial success, and that was kind of the only serious metal thing dominating, like, the world. And the weird transition of metal being the, like, high power of alternative music, if you will, there was a power shift this time. And I think I'm going to do an episode just about grunge, being from Washington State. And yeah, it's, the meme is real, man. We do worship coffee and Kurt Cobain. But anyway, getting off track, Pantera came in to success, you know, did some shows with Metallica. It really brought them into huge success as this band that wasn't going with any trend, wasn't sacrificing any metal sound, and was just like, hey, man, we are who we are, and we're here, and we don't care if we make $1 or if we make a dime. This is Pantera. And it was a cultural phenomenon to an extent, if you will. And like I was saying, at a time where just metal's getting progressively less metal, more and more it seems, with bands that are still, you know, holding it down metal-wise are not reaching the numbers that they once did. And the bands that are reaching the numbers are, like, pretty much playing a somewhat heavy rock and roll now. And you can't blame them, because it's the business, man. It's an ever-evolving enigma. But Pantera is back, or a celebration of Pantera is here, and they are coming back through to remind you of how kick-ass cool metal music is, just like they did in the early 90s, when metal music was, they were either becoming grunge or they were falling off the wayside. When I say becoming grunge, I mean more so like we're big fans of Metallica's Load and Reload, but those were kind of glorified like heavy rock albums, with the exception of some true to core Metallica roots in there. But Pantera never went that route. Pantera always kept it fucking metal. They always kept it heavy. And you can think that, it's not as polished up. It's not as pretty sounding as other metal out there, but it is what it freaking is, man. And it's Pantera. And I'm just so excited about it. The Pantera reunion, quote reunion, the Pantera celebration. What does Zakk Wylde call it? The Pantera Festivus for the rest of us celebration, berserker, miracle, extravaganza, or whatever, is in full force, and it is absolutely awesome. And I don't know, I just wanted to get that out there, throw that out there on this shortened episode. Like I said, I'd love to get some long form stuff, but maybe that's what the show is evolving into, is a more shorter form podcast. More so leaning into the video podcasting of things, and great numbers on YouTube. So thanks so much, guys, for checking out for the first time. Guitar videos weekly, video podcast every week, talking about a metal topic, interviewing metal people in the local scene here. Hopefully someday interviewing people in the more national scene. I'm already knocked Scott Middleton, formerly of Cancer Bats, off. So if you want to go back and check out that episode anywhere you stream, you can check that out. From here on out, in the past couple episodes, every episode's available in video form on YouTube as well, if you prefer that. But yes, hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment, man. What do you think of the Pantera celebration, Pantera reunion? Let's keep it light. Let's not fight. I'm not gonna fight. I'm a busy dude, but I think it's good. I love it. As a fan of Pantera and a fan of celebrating their music and always talking about how great they are and how much they changed my life as a musician, as a guitar player, as a drummer, about every part of that band had a major influence on who I am as a musician now, and a lot of things I continue to do as a musician, and in production and in writing and everything. And I absolutely love celebrating the Abbott brothers and everything Pantera. Yeah, man. Thanks so much, guys. Like I said, like, subscribe. New podcast episodes every week. Anywhere you stream podcasts, every Tuesday. Like and follow. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's chat about the episode. You guys have been great with that. Lots of great talking back and forth with fans on the Avenged Sevenfold's album episode. I believe that was episode 31. I believe. Oh my God, my brain is so fried. Anyway, you guys, I will see you next Tuesday. YouTube people, subscribe. Guitar videos every week, podcast videos every week. Love you guys. Thanks so much for listening.